So today I am having a look at two possible replacements for Alizarin Crimson. One is from Utrecht and is Permanent Alizarin Crimson. The other one is from Rembrandt and is Permanent Madder Deep. I will tell you at the end of this video if one of them is a good replacement for Alizarin Crimson in my opinion. And as usual in this type of video I will create 3 swatches per brand. The first swatch is to show you the color mass tone, the color out of the tube. The second swatch is trying to show you the transparency of the color, and the third swatch is the color mixed into the white. I use a Utrecht white, which is a mix between titanium white and zinc white. So directly what I can say about the Permanent Alizarin Crimson is that the color is very enjoyable to work with. Like most of the Utrecht color I tested so far, they are really enjoyable to work with. It's a buttery feeling when I mix the color on my palette. It's very easy to manipulate and very enjoyable. Here I'm finishing the second swatch, so the transparency of the color, to try to show you the transparency of the color. I wrote the pigment number on each paint label. So here you can see that the Permanent Alizarin Crimson from Utrecht uses PR 177, so pigment red 177, and Rembrandt uses pigment red 264. So we have two different pigments here, which is great to compare, to see which one of them, if one of them gets very close to Alizarin Crimson. And well, so far what I can say is that I forgot to mention, both pigments are transparent pigment. So Alizarin Crimson is also a permanent pigment, and it's PR 83. Both are transparent pigment, as well as Alizarin Crimson is a transparent pigment. So here I'm starting to show you how the Rembrandt Permanent Madder Deep behaves. It's a new tube of color for me. It's the first time I test this color. I haven't used that color in a painting yet. I used Permanent Alizarin Crimson from Utrecht in my paintings. I was not fully satisfied with that color, but I think it's because I'm expecting something that the color will not provide, and I will explain that in a little bit. Here I'm mixing the Rembrandt Permanent Madder Deep into the white. So at this stage what I can say is that the color mass tone of Permanent Alizarin Crimson from Utrecht is slightly darker than the Permanent Madder Deep from Rembrandt. And also something that I really noticed, because the color mass tone is slightly darker, but it's not, again, it's not a huge difference. What is, though it's not a huge difference neither, but it's definitely noticeable more, is that the Permanent Alizarin Crimson from Utrecht is more transparent, and this is something I noticed. So then I don't know how the color is gonna behave on my palette for the Permanent Madder Deep, but definitely you will see when I compare the swatches, you will see that the Permanent Alizarin Crimson is definitely more transparent than the Permanent Madder Deep. And here I'm trying to reach the same values, so the same value of the color mixed into the white. And you can see on the footage that I had to add more white into the Permanent Madder Deep to reach that same value. So I also had, to be fair, I also had more paint available for that mix. So I don't know if the Permanent Madder Deep has a stronger tinting strength. That honestly I cannot tell you for sure. It looks like he has a stronger tinting strength, but slightly. It's nothing huge neither. Both color honestly really look alike. You can see now here I'm gonna compare both, and the result, well, it's tricky to comment the result because the result is very similar. I have the feeling that the transparency of Permanent Alizarin Crimson is still more transparent, and here I introduce finally the swatch that I did prior to record that footage, that video. So I did the swatches of Alizarin Crimson, genuine if you want. I did it before, prior recording that video. So you can see here I'm slightly darker on the, I will show you that because I'm gonna turn the image black and white, but the Alizarin Crimson mixed into the white, my value are slightly darker. So this is something very important to say, that my value is darker. It's not that the color behave another way, it's just that my value is darker. I apologize for that. So here, yeah, you can clearly see in black and white my value of the Alizarin Crimson mixed into the white is darker. I will say honestly at this stage that both paint, the Rembrandt and the Utrecht replacement for Alizarin Crimson, both I think will do an excellent job at replacing Alizarin Crimson. Alizarin Crimson is a pigment by itself, is an amazing color, a magical color by itself. So anyway, no other pigment will do the same job. This is what it is, we have to accept it. I end up accepting it now. I was for a long time looking for the perfect replacement, but I stopped that quest because I don't think it's a quest that is worth doing. What is worth doing is finding a cool red that is a good replacement for it. But in the end of the day, looking for the exact same behavior, I think is a lost cause. At least on my side, I stopped doing that. Now I'm just looking for a cool red that is a good replacement for that cool red Alizarin Crimson. I think I found it. I think in the end I might go back to the Permanent Alizarin Crimson from Utrecht. I will use now in my painting the Permanent Madère Deep from Rembrandt, and I will after I paint a few paintings, I will decide which one I will introduce on my palette, but I think both will do a great job at replacing Alizarin Crimson.